Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to shrink a volume or partition, then create a new volume out of the unallocated or free space to use for storage and sharing. And I'm going to begin by opening the Start menu, and I'm going to right click on Computer, and then I'm going to click on Manage. Next I'm going to click on Disk Management. And right now there's only two partitions. There's a System Reserved partition, and there's also the C drive, which has approximately 25 gigabytes of storage space, and it's using the NTFS file system. And I'm going to right click on the C drive, and I'm going to click on Shrink Volume, and it's finished analyzing the disk, and it tells me the total size before shrinking is 25,498 megabytes. The size available to shrink is 14,325 megabytes. And then here I have to enter the amount of space to shrink. And right now it's set at 14,325 megabytes, but I don't want to set it that because that's almost half of the drive space. So I'm going to set it at 2,048, which will be 2 gigabytes. And then it will also tell you the total size after the shrink, which would be 23,450 megabytes. And I'm going to click Shrink. And I now have a partition with 2 gigabytes of unallocated space, and I'm going to right click on that. And I'm going to click on New Simple Volume. And then I'm going to run through the wizard, and I'm going to click Next. And I'm going to leave the volume size as I specified earlier, and then click Next. And I'm going to assign drive letter X. And you could also mount it in an NTFS folder, or you could choose not to assign a drive letter or drive path at all. And I'm going to click Next. Right up here it says to store data on this partition, you must format it first. So I'm going to leave format this volume with the following settings checked. I'm going to leave NTFS as my file system, but you could also choose FAT and FAT32. I'm going to leave the unallocated unit size at default. The volume label, I'm going to change the user share. I'm going to leave Perform a Quick Format checked, and I'm also going to check Enable File and Folder Compression, and I'm going to click Next, and then Finish. And here's the new partition. Its name is User Share. It's assigned the drive letter X, has 2 gigabytes of storage space, and it's using the NTFS file system. So now I'm going to close Computer Management, and I'm going to open Windows Explorer, and in the left pane, if I would expand Computer, there's the user share drive X. If I would click on that, this would be where all the share folders would be located. I'm going to click on Computer, and I'm going to right click on the new drive, and I'm going to go to Share With, and then Advanced Sharing. When the Properties dialog box opens, I'm going to click Advanced Sharing. I'm going to check the Share This Folder checkbox. I'm going to leave the Share as drive X. I'm going to limit the number of simultaneous users to 2. I'm not going to add a comment. I'm going to open permissions. And right now the only users and groups that are named is everyone, and they have the read permissions. So I'm going to click Add. And I'm going to key in the other usernames on this computer. So I'm going to type John, semicolon, Jane. I'm going to click Check Names. And I found them both, so I'm going to click OK. And now they're listed under the group or usernames. And I'm going to click on Jane. And I'm going to give Jane the read and change permissions, but I'm not going to give her full control. And then I'm going to go to John. I'm going to give John full control where he can make any changes to the document that he'd like. And then I'm going to click Apply. OK. And now I'm going to go back to the Start menu, and I'm going to click on Computer, and now I'm going to right click on the new drive, and I'm going to click Create Shortcut. Now there's a shortcut of the drive on the desktop, and I have a folder here named User Share, and I want to put this folder in the User Share drive so all the users on the computer can view it. So I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to go to Send To, and then I'm going to choose User Share Drive X. And now if I open Drive X, there's the User Share folder. And if I had documents, the documents would be within there. And if I was to log out and log in as another user, I could do the exact same thing where I could save the drive to my desktop for easier access, and then I could save any documents that I wanted to share to this drive, and all users on the computer would have access to them. And that's how you shrink a volume or partition and create a new volume out of the unallocated or free space to use for file storage and sharing. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.